Hey everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comedian and Bachelor Recap host. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how much money YouTube paid me to recap The Bachelor. I hate clickbaity titles and I hate videos that make you wait 15 minutes before they give you the answer, so I'll tell you right now. Season 24 of The Bachelor, I made $150.51. There's plenty of Bachelor recaps that will literally break down every little thing that happened on the show. My style as a comedian is to find the irreverent BS that I see during the episodes. I like to pick apart the things that no one else is going to pick apart, or at least try to. So I'm always looking for the weird things that people do during the show, and then the common denominator with the audience is that you've already watched the show with me, so we can just jump right into the BS. You guys are insane. There's always a discussion to be had after an episode, and one of my goals as a recapper is to get my episodes up as soon as possible. Since I'm already on the Pacific Coast, I'm 3 hours behind the East Coast, I need to get my recaps up so that you guys can watch those while it's still relevant. The other thing that I pride myself in as a performer, as a stand-up comedian, is I don't make any edits on my Bachelor Recap videos. I take notes during the show, I'll pause to write down my notes, I'll read them back one time, turn the camera on, hit the red button, and then I'll just give you a 10 to 20 minute performance, which, come on, it's really just me talking, out of my ass. Okay, let's take a look at 3 of the statistics from this season's Bachelor on my YouTube channel. I want to look at new subscribers, how many views each episode made, and how much money each episode made. Here's a graph telling me how much money I made per episode for The Bachelor. Episode 1, about $5, and then it took a real dip from the 2nd to the 4th episodes. 5 and 6 started to make more. Episode 7 made less. No one really knows why some episodes do better than others. It's not a science. It's not just built on view count. Let's take a look at episode 8, which did the best. First of all, notice my thumbnail I used. For whatever reason, Hannah Ann was my best performing thumbnail, probably because she was a finalist. Spoiler, and she looked good in dresses. I mean, let's be honest, very clickable. Now, on the revenue side of things, YouTube pays out based on their CPM model. CPM means cost per meal, and what it basically means is how much YouTube's willing to pay you per 1,000 people that watch that advertisement. So essentially, the more views that you get, the more money you'll make, but it's a little more complicated than that. This episode had a cost per meal of $11.32. But if we go to an episode that didn't perform as well, let's look at the analytics of episode 10. The CPM was only $7.45, but it made almost $20. If we look at this graph of views per episode, episode 1 always has a good amount of views. There's always people that are interested in a new season, they're willing to check it out, and as you guys probably know if you've watched any season, sometimes after episode 1, it doesn't cut it for you and you just don't feel like watching anymore. So I really had a lull here after the first episode, barely getting 1,000 views, but then episode 5, it almost triples. And then if you look at episode 10, I had 7,000 views. That's my most watched Bachelor Recap episode of all time. Why did YouTube choose to give me this many views? No idea. There's no way to know. Sometimes you perform really well for a few episodes and then they'll show it to new people. I know my YouTube channel is being featured by YouTube when I get a lot of downvotes on a video, because what that means is a lot of new people are checking out my content and some people are horrified by what I do. They just don't like it. It's just not, cookie cutter enough for them, or maybe I'm just not their cup of tea. Totally fine. As far as new subscribers go, this was by far my most successful year ever recapping The Bachelor. I think I got almost 400 new subscribers, which is great. It's YouTube. It's very hard to get someone to click the red button, which, by the way, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. So normally I don't recap the side Bachelor shows like Bachelor in Paradise or the Winter Games. There's really not much to recap with those Bachelor in Paradise shows. It's just, a bunch of people making out and accusing each other of, jacuzzi hand jobs or whatever's going on. Next week starts the new Bachelor show, Listen to Your Heart. And because of this global pandemic and everyone's quote-unquote safer at home and we're all stuck in our apartments and our homes, I think this might be one of the most successful Bachelor spinoffs we've ever seen. I'm going to dive headfirst into recapping Listen to Your Heart. I've always enjoyed musical talent shows, whether it be American Idol or The Voice, and I really love the idea of incorporating the love angle into a musical talent show. Because the one gripe I've always had with the show The Bachelor and the whole Bachelor franchise is there's really no talent. There's nothing going on there. It's just a bunch of people that are going there to get their, verification on Instagram, right? The Bachelor franchise has really just turned into some cool kids club, but I really love the idea that Listen to Your Heart will actually be pairing up contestants that have musical ambitions, and it's just known that they have musical ambitions. They don't have to sneak it in like Jed did, right? And I think it's going to, with today's times and everyone stuck at home, I think it's going to be a really well-received program. And I don't even know how I'm going to tackle recapping it. I don't know what sort of competitions they're going to have or this or that. But if you hit the subscribe button, you will be the first to know when that content comes out. Because what I like to do is I watch the show just like the rest of you guys do. I pause it on commercial breaks or whatever to take notes. I watch the show, and then I come straight to my kitchen over here where I host my podcast, The Sap, and all I do is just read it right back to you guys. The best thing in the world is waking up Tuesday morning to a bunch of comments from people that are just ready to talk about The Bachelor. I really enjoy how passionate everyone is. What a fan base. Listen to your heart. I noticed early on Hannah Ann does really well as a thumbnail. So you get a good thumbnail of Hannah Ann. This has 3,200 views. Which episode is this? This is the finale, part 1. And you'll see the impressions, almost 30,000 impressions with an 8% click-through rate. I bet you the retention rate's not as high. Oh, the retention rate's 26%, which means for every single person that clicked through, the average was 4 minutes watched, which isn't bad. It's really important to try to get featured by YouTube. I can only rely on so many random people finding my page through the search tool. When someone watches one of the more popular recap shows, whether it's Wit and Rye, they've got 20,000 subscribers, right? When someone watches one of those shows, after their recap's over, if my video pops up as content you might like, that gives me a much higher view count. So it's always important to try to get boosted by the algorithm. It's not known for sure what YouTube requires you to do to get boosted and to get featured, but it's very important that you get a high retention rate, which means people stick around to watch your videos, which essentially is saying people enjoy your content. That's important, but also they want longer content. So a 15-minute long video is weighted heavier than a 3-minute long video, because in the end, YouTube just wants people watching more YouTube. The other thing with the ad revenue, when a video is over 10 minutes long, you're allowed to put as many advertisements in the video as you want. If a video is less than 10 minutes long, you only get that initial advertisement up front. So if you look at this video from this episode, I've got an ad break up front, and then I've got one at the 5-minute mark, one at the 10-minute mark, and then one at the 15-minute mark. That's 5 different chances for me to make ad revenue off of one video. A lot of people have asked what you have to do to get your videos monetized on YouTube, and it's very simple. You need to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last year, which means you need not just the subscribers, but people actually watching your content. So about a year ago, I found out that my channel had qualified for being monetized, so I hit the button, and that's what started my curiosity with seeing how much money each episode's making. Now, of course, for people that have millions of followers, they're making crazy amounts of money on YouTube, but I think it's still really cool to share with you when a recap video makes only a couple bucks. The thing I started doing this year with my Bachelor Recap videos is at the end of every episode for this past season, I would share with everybody how much money the previous episode made. And what I found out is the more I started sharing with the audience how much money the episodes were making, the more people would start commenting that they were actually watching the advertisements so that they could help me get a couple extra bucks for the guacamole in my Chipotle. That's the term I use for some bread in my tip jar. And the best part about this all that I want to leave you guys with, the best part and what makes the Bachelor Recap audience so amazing is people started Venmoing me extra money. So I got a $1 Venmo, I read that the next week, and then after that, somebody sent me a $10 Venmo and a $25 Venmo, and they were in on the inside joke. They said, get some guacamole with your Chipotle order, and you know I did. And I think that's really cool that people would go out of their way to be a part of my recap series.
So if you liked this video and you want more of my content, I do more than just recap The Bachelor. I've got different playlists in my YouTube channel. I've got my stand-up comedy, different reaction videos, unboxings, things like that, and then just my weekly vlog. So if you want to check those out, this past week I vlogged what it was like to try to buy paper towels in Los Angeles. Here is a sneak peek. Not only did I get Bounty the quicker picker upper, but it is a selector size. Click any of the links below if you want to watch more. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next season of The Bachelor.